Hey everybody, Patty Ann here again today. As you remember the last video I did, I showed how to get rid of the stitches that were inside of this because all the person wanted to do was have the satin stitches around here. Now since that time I've been asked, well how can I, and actually hers would end up something like this, I was thinking. Okay, I thought she wanted to do something like that. This was just on some blue jean material that I tested it. But then she asked me, and several other people asked me, well, what if I actually do want to do an applique and not have that stitching, but I need my tack down stitch? Well, since you just have this right now, I think the easiest way to do it, or one way to do it, is to come up here to, where you open up create mode. And you don't even have to have that open yet, I guess. What I need to do is find my stitch simulator, and my stitch simulator is right here. And I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to look and see what happens in this design. Well, there we go. There's an understitching, and then it starts the satin. Well, I wonder if I could just do this. Go back, back, back. Let's scroll in. Let's see, until it gets to right here. So I'm going to use the step-by-step back one until it gets to right there, I guess. And I'm going to hit in a stop. And I'm going to change the color to something else. And it's going to make everything after this other color. Once I click on this color, I'll say, okay. All right, so now what do we have? We have this, which could be her placement stitch, and then it's going to start the satin stitch. But maybe I want to duplicate and look over here in the objects panel. I have two things now that are the placement stitch. What if I just want to go ahead and duplicate that? So one is a placement. Let's think. And maybe one I'll just have there for the beginning of my satin stitch. I'm doing this a little backwards because of starting with this project. This isn't the way I ordinarily or normally make an applique. But let's just say I want to copy and paste this. So now I have two of them over here. And I'm going to change the second one to a different color so it stops. Now make it a way different color. Okay, and then this last one can be the same color. Let's pretend like we wanted it to be, oh, let's watch how this stitches. So it's going to stitch your placement stitch, or it would be your tack down stitch. That's what you guys wanted. Well, first it would be the placement stitch. You know where you need to have your fabric. Then it's going to do it's down here. I need to move this up. So I could take this, hold on to it, and move it up underneath the one I want to do. See what I'm doing over here? Click on this, hold my shift key, or hold my mouse key down, bring it up under the one I want it to be after, and leave go. Now this should work. Let's check. So it's going to do the, first it's going to do the placement stitch, then awfully long placement. No, oh, we need to change this color. Sorry. 2, and if I want to change it to a color, a new color, just go here and change to this blue. All right, so now we have 3 different colors, and that's what we want. 1, 2, 3. See them here? So it's going to be, first of all, the placement stitch, and it's going to stop when it gets to the end of this color, as our machines always do. After you have the placement stitch, you'll put your fabric over that, and then it will tack it down. Then you'll be able to cut your fabric, which I really pretty much recommend you do this with a machine, but if you're going to do it by hand, that's when you can do it. It'll stop, and then it'll do the satin stitch. So I hope this was clear as mud. Let's go back to the beginning where we were. Okay, we started with this snowflake, just like this, right? We want to have a tack down stitch, a placement stitch, and a tack down stitch. So I have to roll through here with the stitch simulator until I get to the end. Right there. And I'm going to use my back. See how it's going back, back, back right there? Till it gets there, I'm going to hit the stop sign. I'm going to make it a different color. Okay. Now we have two things here. We have the beginning, which is the placement stitch, and then we have the satin stitch. But after the placement stitch, we want a tack down stitch. So I can go ahead, click on this one, because that's the one that is the placement stitch. Come up here to copy and paste. And let's see, change this to a different color, because watch what that is. Here's the, now let's click off that. Here is the placement stitch. And then it's doing this. So it's out of order, isn't it? Satin stitch, and then it's going to do the tack down. So we want to move the tack down stitch up in order. So I'm going to click on this, hold my shift or hold my mouse key down, drag it up under the one I want it to be. Now, both of those are the same color. I want it to stop after it does the placement stitch so I can put my fabric there. So I'm going to change this color to something else. Say okay. All right, so now we have three colors here again, as I'll show you. We have the placement stitch, so you know where to place your fabric. After you've placed your fabric, and do the tack down stitch. After you do the tack down stitch, then you can do the satin stitch. Now, I will tell you this, a lot of times when they do the placement, the tack down stitch, this one right here, instead of it just being a single run, they make it a bean stitch or something. So I guess in this case, let's see if I'll be able to. I can't really, so we'll just leave it as it is. But oftentimes it is a different kind of stitch, a double stitch or something like that. But I hope this helps. Again, this is if you want to do an applique, instead of just doing it like this, that you wanted to just have the outline of the snowflake. Okay, the second thing I wanted to show you was this. Let's imagine that we bring in, hopefully you can see those hearts are pretty hard to see actually, but this is something I just made. It's an SVG, and I made it over in Silhouette Business Edition. You know how I used to use that for everything, and you can save stuff as SVGs. I think you have to have Stitch Artist Level 2, I think, to be able to do this next part. Because in order to bring in the vector or the SVG that you just made, you have to come up here to Stitch Artist, and notice there's the word image over here in the upper left-hand corner, but underneath there, there's also vector. When I add a vector, here's the vector that I happen to have made, the SVG that I made, which is these hearts. So I brought in the hearts, and the first thing you'll notice is just says line, line, line. So if I go to the stitch simulator, there is nothing there because these are just lines or artwork, drawing. There are no stitches. So I need to come back to this to the create mode and change it to stitches, like run stitches if I would like. Highlight all of them, change them to run stitches. Okay, that's perfect. However, notice this. Well, hold on just a second. Close your eyes, don't look. I'm gonna make this a different way a little bit. Okay, now look. Notice this. There are all these dashed lines between the hearts. Those show run stitches. So let's see how this is going to stitch out using the simulator. It's going to go start to that heart, and then it's going to go to that heart. That's good. Oh, then it jumped way over there. See the jump stitches? And then there, and then there, there and there. Okay, we do not want all those jump stitches if we can help it. So the next thing I did was this. And let's see, is this the one I fixed totally? I don't want you to see it. View. If you don't see your jump stitches, go up here to where it says view and then jumps. View, jump. Okay, this is the one I totally fixed. Let's try. All right, well, let me show you how to fix this one now. That was the one that's totally fixed. So if we want to fix this one now, here's how we can do it. I can click on this up here, the create mode. And if you'll notice right up here, there are these three little boxes overlapping each other. When I click on those boxes, see what it says there? Sequence objects by selecting one at a time. So instead of it going from this heart to this heart to this heart, I'm going to make them get sequenced right like this. So I can go sequence them. I can start with this one, and then I'll go to this one next. Now what I want you to do is watch over here and see if anything moves. Maybe you can see things moving, but you can't tell what it's doing. Huh. Okay, for some reason I still have some messed up jump stitch here, and I'm not sure why. So let's start that again. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to click off that, whoopsie, and then click back on this. See if we can start again. I'm going to start with this one. Then I'm going to go to this one, then this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, I think it's because I have those other ones already made. Let's see. Let's go to view, jumps. Let's get rid of them for a minute. And I'm just going to arrange these a little bit again, just so that it feels like it's starting new. Okay. So let's try this again. I'm going to come up here. Okay, I'm just playing around over here, moving them. Let's come back up here now and go 1, 2, 3. Now, if you notice, our jump stitches aren't showing at all because I have them hidden. So if you come up here to view, jumps. Okay, that time it's right. So notice what it's doing. It's going to sew this one, stitch this, 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 and this. But notice we still have some jumps here that we may not want. There's a way to make this even neater than it is right now, and I'll show you that. So if I click on the first one, notice, let's see if I can bring this down for you, like that. Notice this green little bow tie and this red bow tie. The green bow tie shows where this one is starting. The red one shows where it ends. So if we look at the stitch simulator, you can see that. It's going to start, well, it's supposed to be starting with, okay, it's going to start with that one. Let me move this over. All right, it's starting down at the bottom and it's ending there, okay? So let's see. So what we want to do is this. This one is starting. By the way, if you don't see your start and finish, let's see, view. Oh, we gotta go back. Sorry, the reason why you couldn't see your start and stop right here and I was confused is because you need to go back to create mode. And then when we click on one, there we go. We see the stop end is down here and the start. We want to take the end, which is the red one, hold down your mouse key and just drag it up here. What I want to do is I want to get it as close to the second one that it's going to stitch as possible. So now if we click on this one, we'll see it's going to start down here. So notice the jump stitch is going to go from where this ended to where this is supposed to start. So what should we do? Let's move that start stitch up here. And now, whoops, the start stitch up here. I move the end. I don't want to move the ending yet. So if I move the start, which is the green up here, notice how big your jump stitch is. It's going to be so small, you probably won't even notice it. So let's move up by holding down Shift key and moving up. So again, on this one, it's going to start here and then end here. The last one ended here. So what do you think I should do? I'll take this little red end bow tie, put it here. I'll click on the next heart and take its start bow tie, because look right now, here's your jump stitch. It's going to go from here, the ending point, to here, the start. But if I make it start with the green bow tie up here, watch how the jump stitch changes. Check that out. Okay, now there is one other thing that I can show you, and I think you might just have to have Stitch Artist Level 1 to do this. So let's see what we've got so far. If we click on the Stitch Simulator, it's going to go start, well, not exactly sure. I guess because I was messing them all around, that's why it started down there. But you can see that it's going to work, and there's jump stitches are only between here, or the ones that we repaired, the jump stitches here and here and here. Watch this. See these jump stitches right here? Let's go back to create mode, and let's go to, I think it's create. Okay, yes, it is. It's create, auto, entry, and exit. Now, watch this carefully, because I want you to see what happens to those jump stitches. Check it out. That automatically changed them from down here to the closest point between each thing. So again, if we watch this through the Stitch Simulator now, see those little teeny weeny jump stitches in between the hearts? So let me go back to Stitch Simulator, and I'll undo that so I can show you again. Here, we fixed these jump stitches in between these hearts, right? We did it by adjusting manually the entrance and exit point. And I can show you one more time on this one. There's where it's going to end, and that's where it starts. And the jump stitch is right here, because it ended, this one ends here, and then it jumps over to here. But I can change that. I can make this one end up here very closely. When I see the red bow tie, I know I have it selected. There we go. There. Okay, and then I can change the beginning of this one, which is the green. Green for go, red for stop. There. And now there's our little jump stitch there. And you can do it manually like that, which is fine, because sometimes you may need to. So these still have the jump stitches here. If you want to do it automatically, you just click on your item and then come up here to create, auto, entry, and exit. So it's automatically moving the green bow tie and the red bow tie to the closest that they can be to their neighbor without creating long jump stitches. Check it out. Watch these 3 lines right here. Gone. So now we don't have all these jump stitches. Now remember, in the very beginning, look how it was going to go the way I brought it in originally. There are going to be jump stitches all over the place. Check it out. It's going to do this one, and it's going to jump to that one, and then there, then down there, over there. See all those little dotted jumps? See all the little dots? Those are all jump stitches you're going to have to clip, especially if your machine doesn't do it, like my 770 doesn't. And then we had the final one, which is this one, and the jump stitches you can barely even see. They're in there. The only thing different about this, let's see, this one, here's this one that we were just working on. And again, it works perfectly. The difference between this one and the next one was I was thinking, well, what if, I'm going to click the whole thing at once. And let's see, move this whole thing over here. What if I don't want it to be just a run stitch? Maybe I want it to be something else. I can come up here again to the create mode, and I can change them all to zigzag. Oops, I gotta select them again. to zigzag. Could change them all to something else like this. But look, this one still has those crazy jump stitches. So let me fix this one for a second. Create. Exit. Oh, was this one that was fixed? Okay, let's fix this. Let's do this one. I'm going to come up to create mode. I can do that guy. I don't know why that made that like that again. Let's see, maybe because of the style that I used on there. Let's go back again. I'm learning something with you guys. What if I do just the line again? And what if I just, oh, that satin border. What if instead of satin border, I make it be a line stitch, but instead of a single line, maybe I want it to be a bean stitch. Or a chain stitch. Can't really see the bean, I guess. Or a stem stitch. So see, you can change these stitches. And again, if I want to see, view the jumps, they're viewing in, they're already turned on right there. So that's how that goes. I hope this was clear. It's a little bit fuzzy the way I explained it, I think. All right, another question somebody had was, what if all of a sudden you're working along and you lose your objects panel? Where in the world is my objects panel? I have no idea. Maybe I lost both my panels. And all I have is this. All you have to do is come up here to View, Toolbars, make sure that you have Object window checked and Properties window checked. There's the Properties, View, Toolbars and Windows, Objects. And there they both are there. Whoopsie. And if I double click, they set them like that. So I hope this video helped today. Again, remember, you can bring in things, SVGs that you get offline somewhere. You can change them into stitches. You'll have to doctor them up. They won't be perfect. You'll have to fix many things on them, but it's still a lot of fun for practice. You can bring those in. You can change where your starts and stops are to eliminate a lot of the jump stitches you have. And sometimes it's good to be able to use just this right up here, the sequence objects, by selecting one at a time, or better than that is the create, auto entry and exit. Okay, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to look for the link and the code down below so that you can save an extra 10% on Embrilliance. Right now it's on sale, and it'll be on sale a little bit more. Just in case you want to get Stitch Artist or Stitch Artist Level 1, Stitch Artist Level 2, whatever. Again, thanks so much for joining me, you guys. I love all your comments. I love you just saying, hello, how are you? It really helps to keep my videos in front of people so they can also learn from them. So thanks again. Bye for now.